More and more countries around the world are abolishing the death penalty. Yet in 2024, only 2 major industrial nations continue to carry out executions: the United States and Japan. While the US has long been open and transparent about its executions, Japan shrouded its process in secrecy for years. Only since 2010 have the disturbing details of Japan's approach to capital punishment begun to emerge. Transition to Japan's death row conditions. So what makes Japan's death penalty so unique? Unlike in the US, prisoners in Japan are not told when they will be executed. Every morning could be their last, with each day filled with uncertainty as they wait, wondering if they will live to see another sunrise. This psychological strain is immense, and often prisoners only find out a few hours before their death that their time has come. Individual story. Example. Take Tomohiro Kato, for example. For 14 years, he has been confined to death row at Tokyo Detention House. 14 years ago, he committed a crime that took 7 lives and injured 10 others. His days are painfully monotonous. He wakes up at 7 a.m. and sleeps at 9 p.m., his cell a mere 4 tatami mats in size, furnished with a sink, a small table, and some bedding. And yet for all these years, he's been left in the dark about his final day. Japanese authorities argue that keeping prisoners uninformed about their execution date helps maintain their emotional stability and prevents suicides. Supporters see it as a kind of poetic justice, reasoning that the victims of these criminals also didn't know when their final moments would come. But critics condemn this practice as cruel and inhumane. But what happens when the system gets it wrong? Consider the case of Mendak Sakai, who was found innocent after spending 34 years on death row and was suddenly released in 1983. Or former boxer Iwao Hakamada, who was exonerated in 2014 after waiting a record 45 years for his execution, the longest time any person has ever spent on death row. Both men lived through decades of constant fear, with each day bringing the terrifying thought that it might be their last. When execution day finally arrives, everything in Japan follows a precise, secret protocol. The condemned prisoner is led into a small room where a chaplain offers a brief ritual for final prayers or contemplation. Then, with eyes covered and hands bound, the prisoner is taken to the execution chamber to face the last moments of their life. 3 guards in an adjoining room simultaneously press buttons, only one of which will open the trap door, yet none of the guards knows who triggered the mechanism. Out of the 193 United Nations member countries, 144 have abolished the death penalty. In most industrial nations, executions are a thing of the past. Japan, however, remains an outlier, defending capital punishment with significant public support. In the US, capital punishment involves a lengthy legal process, and public opinion is often divided, making it rare. But in Japan, the death penalty is seen as a matter of fate, with little room for doubt or delay. Currently, 106 individuals sit on Japan's death row, living each day as though it could be their last. The question remains, can such a system endure in today's world, or is it destined to fade into history?